a tour over my van. So this is on the driver's side. So we've got my hazard co box up here. So that's on a pack out system. So basically you can clip off. It's got these wee cleats. Clips in there really nicely. Next to that I've got 3 boxes. So these 3 boxes, one has hole saws. So we've got timber hole saws and Hardy's hole saws, screwdrivers, spanners, Allen keys, and an assortment of bits from every sort of possible bit I can sort of generally use. So down and under there I've got an assortment of clamps, so from small ones to a couple of large ones. Pretty much my only corded tools is a planer, which lives right in the bottom of here, which only comes out very rarely. I've got 2 or 3 extension leads here. Expanding foam gun lives also here. Then on top of that I've sort of got my bag that I sort of use every day. Then coming out to these pack out boxes here, so this top one is most of my cordless tools, the ones I use on a regular basis. So in here I've got an angle grinder, hand cordless planer, skill saw, battery drill, impact driver, multi-tool and a torch. Going down under that I've got my hand tools box. So in my hand tools box I've got some various unusual bits in here, set of drill bits, a couple of multi-tool blades, some electrical tape, wee laser. Through here I've got combination square, some PVA glue, chalk line, long measuring tape, knife blades, bars, jib cutter, set of Allen keys, then on this side here stud finder, moisture meter, electrical detector, some silicone nozzles, pencils, pens, etc., some nail punches. Then going underneath that is I've got my door kit. So this door kit has got a trim router, some trim bits, Forester bits, hole saws for doors, centre drill bits, a battery, all the tools for changing the trim router, screwdriver, sharp chisels that only stay in this box. So basically I can grab this box and this is everything for door hardware. Up behind here, so I've got some metal cutting wheels, some concrete cutting wheels, grinding discs, sanding discs. Down this side here I've got my socket set. Also have a big socket set up here, but this is just my personal one that I only sort of chuck when I need to, but I've always got these down here and a couple of socket wrenches in the back. Coming over to the other side here, so there's another stack here of Milwaukee pack out. So this top one, stuff I use on a regular basis. So I've got a stapler, my chisels, oil stone, etc. on this side. Over here I've got some weatherboard offcuts, brand new drill bits, brand new multi-tool blades, brand new drill bits. It's almost like my mini placemaker shop in there. So under that I've got 2 wee pack outs, so I've got hinges and doors. So this is most of my door hardware, screws, hinges, screws, a few hinges, a couple of cover plates, etc., striker plates. Over on this side I've got rondo screws, a couple of rondo clips, things I normally use with rondo. Under that I've got nails and brads, so basically I've got from 38, 45, 50, 60, 30mm brads. So I've got some straight brads as well. Sometimes we use those. I've got a straight work bradder, and then we've got an assortment of hand nails, all different sizes, the ones that we normally use. Under that I've got stainless screws, so this is the sort of standard stainless screws we use, anywhere from 25, 6 gauge, even 16s right up to 50s, I think 65s over here. I've got a reasonable assortment in here. Under that I've got timber screws, stuff we normally use, from bugles to wee jolt head screws to Tech screws to 35, 40, 50, 60 mil screws that we normally use. Just behind that I've got normal skill saw blades, drop saw blades, and over there Underneath this, I've sort of got a bit of an assortment box plus drill bits. So I've got some like weatherboard screws here, some other assorted screws here, and all my concrete screw drill bits. Reasonable assortment of those, timber drill bits, steel drill bits, stuff that normally aren't in your drill case. Underneath on this side, so I've got some carpet protection and some sort of shrink wrap stuff to if you ever carry timber in the wet. You can basically wrap it up so it stays dry, and a bit of seal tape at the back. Coming around the back of the van, so I've got normal gun nails up there, a bit of an overflow for my screws that don't fit in the boxes. I sort of use these to top it up when need be. Underneath here I've got sort of variety of nails, don't use these that often, so they sort of stay in here. So we've got 90mm jolts, 75, 60s, 70s, some blue purlin screws, etc. Some packers down the end. One of the key things with the variety of work we do is the ability to carry sheets around. I can quite comfortably carry 2, 4, about 1200 sheets in this van. One side sitting on this large shelf and the other sitting over above the nails on the other side. Back of the van here, so I've got a couple of roof steps up here. Tend to do a wee bit of roofing, so I've got 2 roof steps up there. Got my roofing tool belt in here, vacuum cleaner, pair of gumboots at the back. Got my short wee step ladder in here and my tool belt. In this pack box here I've got all my batteries, tools that don't often use every day, from big saber saw to concrete drill, back out impact driver, big impact wrench and a jigsaw. Down this side here, so I've got about 2 brooms in here, sledgehammer, shovels, all that sort of stuff that lives in there. Come around the back here, so I've got big extension ladder there. So in my van I normally have a drop saw stand most of the time. Don't always carry a drop saw around with me or miter saw. Just specific jobs, pick them up from the yard and put them on the top of the shelf. Only framing and trim jobs normally. A lot of the smaller jobs we don't have to use it, or on the larger sites they just stay on site. Drop saw stand in here, track saw tracks, and I've got all my levels and straight edges. So I've got 2.4, 18, 2.7, 2.4, 1200 and 800 level, big crowbar, and I've also got some extra bits of trim, etc. that live in here. Coming to this top drawer here, so I've got my hole saw set, some brand new skill saw blades, multi-tool blades, router bits, saber saw blades, spray cans, cutting oil, PVA, more spray cans, a couple of different types of masks. Back in here I've got gloves, some paper masks, more gloves, things like that. Down in this bottom drawer, so this is my cleaning drawer, I've got vacuum cleaner bags, a couple of suits, rubbish bags, soap, some rags, sort of my hand tools. I don't use it all the time, but I sort of need them every now and then. Big T-square, quite an assortment of hand tools in here. And here I've got a couple of concrete floats and all my hand saws, hacksaws, assortment like that. So coming around the passenger side of the van, so I've got 2 foldable saws under there. And here I've got a radio, another radio, framing gun, finishing gun, charger, helmet, and just sort of an overflow of some rubbish bags, etc. A couple of big tie down strops in there for tying loads onto a trailer. And then I've got this big unit here, that's quite well labelled. So basically in this drawer here, anything to do with painting, from sander to drop sheets to sanding discs to paint brushes to primer to roller sleeves to scrapers to cleaning stuff is all sort of in there, anything to do with painting. Down in this drawer here, so this is where my plunge saw lives. So basically that whole unit is all for my plunge saw with all the assorted bits. Back here I've got my Milwaukee charger, jib screw gun, and a couple of extra things for the plunge saw. Coming to this side here, so this is my roofing kit. So I've got a roofing bag here with all my sort of roofing tools in it. I've got some screws and rivets, etc. Pretty much everything to do with roofing fits in there. Coming up to this one here, so I normally have a couple of caulking guns up here. All my caulking, new stuff to current to new stuff. Got some spare pencils and knife blades and staples back there. These small wee drawers in the middle here, so we've got short tie downs, big tie downs, sort of bigger strops. Coming up, so this is sort of plumbing stuff, so don't do a lot of plumbing, but it's more just like spouting brackets, spouting clips, touch-up paint for roofing, yeah, just a couple of spouting joiners, that's about it really in here, and some rivets. Coming up here, so got my toggle gun, sort of some odd things like some jib screws, just a bit of an overflow of stuff that doesn't sort of fit in the pack outs. Up here I've got a small wee blower that I can often use to blow down tools, and then behind it I've got this big blower here. It's great to blow off roofs, etc.